and gentlemen, here we are with the incredibly talented actress, producer, director, mother extraordinaire,
Keep going,
the
darling, please.
incredible, the awesome, our girlfriend, Golden Brooks. Good to
Hey, oh
see
hey guys.
you.
Hi, nice to see you. It's
It's
been
so great to
way too
catch up.
long.
I know it's been way too long. We have a
Yes,
lot of ground to cover. I
yes.
just want to get right into it and just let you know that I love you on social media. You're so much fun. You and your daughter.
Oh gosh,
Um,
oh gosh.
you know,
Me.
you just have a vibrancy, a
Oh,
youthfulness,
oh.
real sort of girl next door I can hang with. I feel like I can, that everybody can feel really super comfortable around, and that's the energy that you exude.
Oh, thank you, Deborah. I feel the same way when I look at you and your beautiful girls. We're all inspired by what we see, right?
Right.
And I'm just drawn to good, strong, wholehearted women, good
Hmm.
mothers. That's what you are.
Thank
Trying to
you.
raise this little tween in this crazy world filled with social
Yes.
media. She,
Yes.
she
How's that
introduced me.
been?
It's been, she's 10, about to be 11, and there's all kinds of stuff going on. She went from having this full life outside, being with all of her friends, to being enclosed, and then they're growing, hormones,
Yeah.
all these things, and so I have to say, like, doing the TikToks and things like that, creating fun little. Just the dances. I like it
I
because it
love the
encourages
dances.
movement. I'm horrible at it. She tells me I'm old and tired and I'm
No, it's so
unteachable.
cute.
I was like, I am teachable. I am teachable, Dakota. I will get this going. And so that's been challenging but fun. And she keeps me relevant.
Listen, you have been always, your career is
Thank you.
just, you have so many incredible projects under your belt. And I just wanted to just shed some light and some positivity out there and just
Yeah.
recognize you,
Thank you.
for all of your accomplishments and everything that you've done. We first met on Links,
Yes.
which was this show. That was really my first foray into acting, and it was really great to just get on set and just see the camaraderie with all of the actors. You had
Oh
been doing
yeah.
the show for wait, how long? How long?
I
How long
didn't.
was Links?
When did we do that? We did. I
God,
think
that
we
was
did. It was either one or two. I think it was one season. We shot
yeah.
in, or was it two seasons? We shot
I
in
think it was a
Virginia.
couple seasons.
Yeah, and then
Yeah,
it came here. Did you shoot in Virginia or did you shoot in
I
Los
shot
Angeles?
in Los Angeles. Yeah,
Okay, so
yeah.
yeah, the first season we shot in St. Petersburg, Virginia. Is that right? St.
Ah,
Petersburg, Virginia. And so that was my first sort of big acting job out of graduate school. I was in New York. I was going to Sarah Lawrence, which is in Bronxville, Westchester County. And I just had always, I was in graduate school for writing, but like I was
oh
still
really?
auditioning. Yes, I got my master's in creative writing.
Oh
So
my gosh, Golden. Some people
I'm
don't know this.
I know. Well, you know what? I mean, I know. I don't really talk about that, but
Yeah.
I mean, and the thing is, I was at UC Berkeley and I was studying sociology and I was doing theater and doing a lot of community theater. And I've been doing theater since I was in grade school, just loving the theater, started
Wow.
in church.
Yeah.
Um, and so just, theater's always been in my blood. I'm sorry,
Been
I'm
in your
getting
blood.
been in my blood. Anyway, so yeah, so when out of graduate school, I got this little agent, this little manager, and I just started auditioning. And Lynx was probably one of my, I don't know, maybe my 10th audition when I was in New York,
Wow.
and I
That's
got it.
good.
This beautiful,
That's
wonderful
and
casting agent. This
yeah.
casting agent, Pat Golden. I don't know if they don't make them like her anymore. I don't know where Miss Pat Golden is in the world, but
Oh.
she was one of those casting agents that just took you under their wing. She brought me to her home and she just worked with me. And you don't get that anymore. You get,
Yeah, you don't.
maybe two takes in a room and that's it. But
Yeah.
she really worked with me and being able to work with Tim Reed and Daphne Reed
Legends.
and Tisha Campbell, Pam Grier, George Stafford Brown, Stephen Williams. I mean, I just, I've worked with Samuel L. Jackson, a small little scene with him. I don't know if he remembers, but all these great people would come in and
Yeah.
play with us. You, the brilliant, fabulous
I was
you
so
know,
nervous, girl.
Deborah
I
Cox.
was so
You were
nervous.
so good, girl. You didn't even, you were bomb.
But
You were
you know, it
so
just,
good.
it just, it when you work with people that help to set the tone to make you feel comfortable, that
Yeah.
helps. You know what I
It,
mean? And that's what it felt like, a family, like I was at a family reunion or something.
well, I mean, you come from, you're a singer, you're a performer,
Right.
and you just felt right at home, and you're just
Mm-hmm.
a natural, and
Mm-hmm.
it's been amazing watching you as well in your progression in this business, and just exploring all of your gifts and being able to, really put that out there. And I'm
Right.
just, I so much respect. It's a tough business, you
It
know.
is a tough one.
Yes.
It's a tough one. Well, I hope
Yeah.
you've been writing during this time,
Well,
because that's a hidden talent that you need to. We need more writers. We need more stories. We need more, 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 more. And now that we have all of these
time.
outlets and time,
Time and yeah, I mean, I have been
good.
doing some writing. There's so many of our stories that I feel like, um, are, oh,
Oh,
are missing.
okay, there we
There we
go.
go. So yeah, I mean, it's a weird business. People, if they don't see you all the time, if you're not working all the time, it's always like, oh, what are you doing? What you
Right,
been? What you been up to? Are you still in the business, or
right.
are you still doing this? Are you still doing that? And sometimes you do need to take a step back and
You
figure
do.
out what tools you want to sort of focus on. And the writing has been something that's been a big part of my growing and exploration.
Yeah, yeah. I kind of feel like this whole quarantine situation has brought all of us to, this place where we're looking more inward and we're
Yeah.
rediscovering a lot of things that we might have put off, you
Yes.
know? And yeah, yeah, yeah. So let's talk about this new project that you're
Yes.
doing. A look in the mirror. I'm so
Oh yeah.
excited. We love
Yeah.
to see you on the screen.
Thank
So
you,
tell
Miss
us about
Deborah
this
Cox.
character and how you connected with it, and how did you shoot it?
Yeah, I mean, this is like, it was pretty crazy. It's one of the first productions, that came across my way, during the pandemic. And of course, everyone had to be tested. And girl, that those 2, 3 days was like waiting to hear if you were
Mm.
pregnant. I was like, oh my gosh, tell me.
Oh my God.
But it's nerve wracking,
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
You try to be as safe as you can, and praise God, everything's fine. So we did that. So I've had a comfort that everyone there had been tested. We
Right.
all went through the whole regimen of that, and temperatures were taken twice a day. So
Wow.
I
And it was
felt,
shot in LA?
and it was no, it was shot in DC. So I
Oh, okay.
flew, yeah. So we
Okay.
flew
Oh
to,
my gosh.
I know, I know.
So,
So
girl, when was this? When did you
girl,
like?
this was literally like a month, like about a month ago, I guess. Yeah, about a month ago. I
Oh,
got
okay.
back July 1st, July 2nd, around that
Wow.
time.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So this is BET Her, which is a
Mm.
sub channel of BET, which I think
Mm-hmm.
is amazing.
Yes.
Tressa Smallwood, Mega Mind. She's amazing. She's a woman who is doing fierce things.
Love it.
Um, really trying to find stories about women, for women. Our DP was a woman. I was surrounded by just powerful women, directed by the amazing Vanessa Bell
I was
Calloway, who
gonna
is like,
say, I
let
was
me
gonna
tell you,
say,
she is like,
legend.
she's my guru. She's my go-to. She's my Alexa. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh, she's just so warm and full of strong and amazing advice, and a keen eye, and a brilliant director.
Mm.
So it's these series of shorts, and my particular short is about breast cancer awareness. And so my character, basically, she's obsessed with youth, and she's a mother. Again, I love stories about motherhood and
Yeah,
coming of age stories, between a mother and a daughter, because as you know, it's a dynamic that is. I mean, we could go on and on about
yeah.
that mother and
Very
daughter dynamic.
complex.
And yeah, and so she unfortunately gets hit with breast cancer, and it's a struggle. I don't want to give too much away, but
Hmm.
I love roles that are incredibly layered and complex, where you think it's going one way but it goes another way. I've been doing comedy for so long,
Hmm.
but being able to stretch that creative muscle, and being able to really delve deep. We all have so much in our emotional toolbox that we keep suppressed, for many reasons. And being able to be challenged and do roles like this. And I didn't have a lot of time. We literally, it's like I think they're like 15, 20-minute shorts. So
Okay.
I basically, we had to do a lot of emotion in a short amount of time. And so that just
Oof.
brought me back to my theater roots. And
Yeah.
um, I keep my emotion pretty, it's ready to go.
It's
My emotion is pretty much ready to go. And so
so
yeah,
those, so you're saying that those scenes weren't really hard, like to dig deep to get that emotion.
I mean, for me, I'm weird. It's God. I don't want to say this because it's gonna. I could just hear the captions. But it's easier for me to go dark than
Mm.
happy. I don't know what that's about. We'll talk about that in part
Right.
two of this interview. And I
Well,
think
there's a
that,
lot underneath the surface. Just a
yeah,
lot
yeah.
of
I mean, you
things
look
that you
at
don't
most,
get it. Yeah,
like,
I get you.
comedians are usually hiding, all the other stuff. But
Yeah,
anyway, yes,
yeah,
I love characters that you're able to really kind of get in there and do that emotional work. And so for
yeah,
me, I was ready. It was really it was challenging because of the time factor, but it was rewarding because of just what was given to me on the page.
and I'm sure very therapeutic too,
Very therapeutic, especially with
right?
everything that's going on.
Yeah.
A lovely, beautiful young actress played my daughter. She was amazing, and yeah, I mean,
Wow.
I wait for roles that challenge me. Um, we all want a paycheck. Let's be
Yeah.
clear, but there's something about being able to really sit and try to do something that's going to make people see you in a different light, as opposed to just riding the same bike.
Exactly. Yeah.
And that's always been something that's been important for me. That
Yeah.
actors, a lot of and African American actresses, we don't get a lot of chances to show a range. We
Yeah.
sort of do one thing, and if we do that one thing well,
Then
well,
yeah. Then that's
get
all they're
ready
gonna
to see.
keep.
That's what it is. So I'd
Yeah.
rather be seen less,
Mm-hmm.
but doing more when I am
Yeah.
seen.
Yeah. And that's great. Well, so when does it air?
That airs in October.
Oh
It
wow.
airs, yeah, in
Okay.
October. That's usually, it's
Okay.
breast cancer awareness, and
Right.
when we get closer to that, I'll definitely get you some clips and things like
Okay.
that.
Yeah, that'll be
Yeah.
great. That'll be great, great,
Mhm.
great. I'm loving it.
Thank you.
Yeah, we like you said, we see. I mean, you've done tons of films, and of course, I think really established an iconic role in Girlfriends. Talk about that, what that was like when you heard that it was going to be on Netflix. Because
Oh,
listen, all of
girl,
us fans are
girl.
so excited.
I was,
We are so excited.
it's like, it is, it's like, you want, even though you can go get the box set, but
It's not the
there,
same.
it's not the same. You know what I mean? You
Yeah,
can
it's not
just
the same.
click, add to your list. It's like, and it's also a stamp of, like, we're a piece of American culture. Actually, we're a piece of global culture,
It's
because
iconic. The
it's
show is
iconic.
iconic.
We have
And
fans, and
yeah,
yes, go on, please.
it's iconic. The show is iconic. Um, it's the issues that were dealt with, the way that you all dealt with the issues,
Mm,
the range of women that cast, yourself,
mm-hmm.
and I mean, it really brought a lot of conversations that we as women, as girlfriends, have.
Yes,
And it's so
it's true.
wonderful that it's going to be brought to a whole new generation. Like I'm excited to just pop some popcorn and hang out with my girls and introduce
Yeah.
them to this show, that where they can see more of themselves, and especially my oldest one, she's now 14.
Oh my
So
gosh. So
yeah,
cute.
so it's I was so thrilled to hear about it.
Oh,
Yeah,
Deborah, thank you. It's
yeah,
like, and that makes me happy, because you and we've been doing this. I feel like we've kind
yeah.
of come up together, and
Mm,
we've worked together on a few things, and booking Girlfriends for me, after Links, was a big deal, and never in a
gosh,
million years did I ever think it would go. I literally thought I was going to do this show. It would go for a couple of seasons, and I go back to New
right,
York and just go and do some, more off Broadway, and just,
right,
you know,
right.
I thought I'd go back to my little hole in Brooklyn. I didn't think that it was going to be this sort of kickstart to a whole new career, and it really
Yeah,
was. and an era for Black women. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
we came around the time when it was still UPN,
Right.
and you just didn't see Black women talk about the things that we were talking about.
Exactly.
Black women eating sushi, Black women talking about class issues, doing
Yes.
yoga.
Exactly.
And I have to give credit and testament to Mara Brockett Hill, for just
Mara.
really, like, I mean,
Godsend.
she's such a modern, smart, uh, just this woman who was so progressive in a time when it wasn't really, I
Really
don't want to say it wasn't
celebrated.
cool, it wasn't celebrated being a progressive Black woman.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
we dressed well. And I think some of these conversations, like you were saying, I think your 14-year-old will get it. I mean, class
Yeah.
issues. I remember the
Yes.
scene, one of the episodes with Tracy and I, when she, Maya gets married, and it brought up class issue between,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
Persia White going through her exploration through identity, and Jill Marie Jones's character Tony, with the whole, with race and color and how we see ourselves, and are we too
Mm-hmm.
dark, are we too light, are we too this, too that. And it's interesting because during that time there was no social media. I can only
Right.
imagine now with these, yeah, I think these scenes, these topics are going to sort of be headliners now.
Yeah.
It'll take on a new life, a new sort of I think a lot of these topics will start a snowball, a new kind
New
of
conversation. New
conversation for
conversation.
people.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So
Yeah.
I was very excited when Netflix, Strong Black Lead, reached out to us,
Oh,
and because people, fans, Deborah, they love it. They wanted
they
a
do.
closure. They wanted an ending.
Yeah.
Girlfriends ended during the writer's strike, so it was sort of out of our hands. And
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think this is the next best thing for them. At least they get
Absolutely.
their Netflix, and I think the community, our community, deserves that. So,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Absolutely. Deserves is the perfect word because we do
Yes.
deserve, that American culture, and hopefully it will jumpstart, a new version. I don't know,
Oh,
or
well,
maybe a film,
speak it, girl. Speaking it to the universe.
or
Hopefully,
maybe
you
a
never know.
film.
You never know. And
I
I know
mean,
someone who could
or
sing,
a
who
2 hour
could do
special.
the
Hey.
soundtrack.
Yes. I would
Maybe we need a new
love that.
opening. Yes.
I'm
Yes, getting
down.
her
I am
the
down.
amazing Deborah Cox. You just never know. You never know what God has in
What
store.
God
You
has
never
in store.
know
So
how the
true.
universe connects those cosmic dots. You just
Yeah.
don't know. I mean,
Don't.
I've learned in this business to never count your chickens before they hatch, but also to never try to figure it out before this is just it's
Yeah.
a, it's a business where sometimes you just have to throw it up to God, and just
Yeah.
say, you know what, where you see me, how you see this,
Yeah.
just make it happen, because you can't control anything,
You
really.
can't. Yeah. So
Yeah,
true. So true.
yeah.
Like how we met. And then we met each other again on A Good Man Is Hard to Find. That was
Yes,
so
with
much
Melissa
fun.
De Sosa. Yes. Melissa and I were just talking about you the other day.
Oh,
Um, yeah, I mean, literally watching you. I mean, you just, you come across a lot of people, you work with a lot of people,
Melissa. Right.
but there's always one or two or three that stand out, and you've just always been that person. Not only are you a brilliant and beautiful singer, musician, but girl, you can
Thank
act.
you,
You're
lady.
so good.
Thank you.
And I've
Like,
just been
again,
watching you.
it's just inspiration. And like you said, it's a very small business, and there are certain
Yes.
people that stay with you, their energy stays with you, and no matter where our paths go, you always sort of reconnect with certain people, and you've been one of
Yes.
those for me too.
Oh, thank
Yeah,
you.
yeah. It's just like a really special group, even on A Good Man Is Hard to Find.
It
We
was.
didn't have a
It
whole lot
was.
of scenes together, but it was just like connection,
It's
right?
all energy. It's all
Yes,
energy.
energy.
And
Yeah.
I just was like, gosh, I like her, and you're radiant, and you're light,
Mm,
and you're good people.
it's so
Um,
reciprocal, trust,
and it's
and
not because you're from Canada, which I didn't know that you were
you didn't know
Canadian.
that? You
I
know what?
thought,
I didn't know that you were from San Francisco.
yeah, I grew
I
up in,
the
Berkeley and Daly
Bay.
City. Yeah. And
Wow.
LA too. I'm also from here, from
Right.
LA. Where
Right.
are you right now? Are you in New
I'm
York?
in Miami. No,
Oh, you're
I'm in Florida.
Miami.
Yeah,
Is that
yeah.
where you live?
That's where I live.
Oh
Yeah,
my
I think I
gosh.
was
Okay,
here.
wonderful.
Yeah,
What's
yeah, I
that?
was living here when I did a Good Man. Yeah, so yeah, I've been here
Wow.
20 years,
Oh
21
my
years. Yeah,
gosh.
yeah, this
Well,
is
that's
home now.
good. So, had you ever been in New York? Had you ever lived in
Oh
New
yeah,
York?
I've been to New York quite a bit, have family and stuff, but was and lived there when I was doing Broadway. So
Yeah,
it was New York is a
it's
tough
a very
city.
tough city, and it's a different city today than it was many years ago.
Where did you? So your daughter, you said 11?
She's 10, but she'll be 11 September
Oh, okay.
1st. So,
Oh, wow.
she's
So it's coming
11.
up. So I was going to
Yes.
ask you when you decided to have your daughter and how did that whole thing change for you? What was your thought process? Because I like to ask mothers, in this industry, there's a lot of things that we have to go through, a lot of navigating, a lot of it's a
Yeah.
pretty, yeah, it's
Yeah.
complex. From choosing the roles, like how has it changed you? Do you like, you know, I don't know. Tell me,
Yes,
tell me.
I know exactly what you mean. Like, am I going to be going off to do motives 3 and motives 2? Probably not. Now that I have her, Mom, what are
Yes,
you
girl.
doing?
Because
What is that?
you do think, right? You kind of,
You do. And not just only her, like her little group of friends, because they all follow
yeah.
me on, even from what I post. She's like, Mommy, take that down. I do not know. If my friend Presley sees that, all the moms are going to start talking about you. I mean, it's a whole thing. I was like, Dakota, really?
That's the
So I
hard
take it
part because
down.
you feel like again, because you're super youthful. You just exude this young
Oh,
energy. And so it's so funny because I do my little snaps and I think I'm cute, whatever.
yes.
And then my son will be like, Mom, really? And it's like, why you gotta bust my, why you gotta bust my,
So,
it's
and you have
so,
three or two.
I'm a boy
You
and 2 girls. Yeah,
boy
3.
and 2 girls. You look amazing. Oh my gosh.
Thank you.
But I'm sure your 14-year-old is like, Mom.
Yeah.
Uh, and you really think you're doing you're doing
You
your
do,
best.
yeah, you're
I was
trying
like,
to,
I'm living my
yeah.
best selfie life, and she'll be like, No, you're really not. You're not doing anything. Take that down. So no, yeah, it's changed a lot. I was a different, we were different people before we
Yeah.
had kids, and I think it would be the same even if I had a boy. I think yeah, I'm not as I feel like I'm not as, what's the word? I don't want to say like I'm not as free, but
Right,
I
right.
think about
But you're not
things.
a total prude.
I'm not a total prude.
Right.
Well,
You're more conscious
I'm
of
conscious
the
of things.
effects
I'm
of the
conscious.
art now.
Yes, I'm sure I'm not considered as fun and sexy to some people. Like I don't know. I just think I'm a bit more aware of
Yeah.
what I'm
Yeah.
doing. But
But you're still a lot more conservative in comparison to some of the stuff that's out there. Like,
really, thank you, Deborah. I try. I mean, I
yes.
don't know. I don't know if I'm. You never know if you're teetering too much on the other
Not at
side,
all. Oh my
because you
gosh, not
still
at
want to be
all.
like this desirable thing, but then you don't want to
Yeah.
be, and kudos to anyone out there who can do both and master both.
No,
I'm,
listen, Golden, listen.
yeah.
I will DM you if I see something that's like,
No, thank
you know
you.
I
Thank
will.
you.
But
Pull
you
me
are
back in.
not, you don't know. No, it's still very classy.
Oh,
It's
thank
very
you.
smart. It's fun. I think,
Yeah,
us black women, I think I love when we get to show all of our colors. We don't
it's
always
true.
have to
It's
be
true.
this,
Yeah,
bombshell all the
like
time. Can't we be fun,
yes.
funny and quirky? You know?
Yes. Oh my,
Yeah.
Deborah, I say that all the time. Why can't we
Yeah.
just be like just the I remember one time I posted something and I didn't have on any makeup and I was just like me being me. And I remember one comment was, "Ooh, girl, wear your lashes." I'm like, "Girl," and I wanted to
Ain't nobody
respond,
doing, yeah, yeah.
but I was like, "You
Don't
know what,
even.
Golden? Step it back." And the thing is, I'm going to the supermarket. I don't need my lashes
Exactly.
on. And I get it. They're used to seeing you glam and all of that. And I understand that. And I love to get snatched and be glam. But
Right.
sometimes I think there has to be the other side. Like, I think we as a society and as a social media society,
Yeah.
I think we just need to be a little kinder to
Yeah.
people. I have to put that out there. Like, I think let people be, let them find their
Yeah.
way, let them express themselves, and we don't
Exactly.
always need our lashes.
Exactly. And don't be so
Um,
judgmental. Like,
yeah, I mean, because it's like, listen, we're just everyone's trying to figure it out. You know what
we're
I mean?
all trying to,
All
exactly.
trying to figure it out. We're all,
Yep.
works in progress.
Exactly.
But back
Exactly.
to your other question, Nick, I don't. I mean, I really do think about the roles that I get or that I audition for, that I take meetings on in regards to my daughter. I haven't really been offered or nothing too salacious.
It's good.
Yeah, nothing
Yeah.
too. But I mean, look, let me tell you, Steven Spielberg calls me. Brad Pitt wants me to play his, his new,
Yeah,
mistress. Yes,
there are
by all
some
means.
great things on the horizon, even more.
Yeah.
And I think because,
Oh, thank
you
you.
decided to do, things like a look in the mirror, for girlfriends, you show all, the range,
Thank
that you
you.
can do all these different these different levels
Levels. Thank you.
of the art and acting and stuff. And so that's what we, as an audience, as a fan, as a person who loves to see, I love to see you on the screen.
Thank you.
It's just great, and I wanted to celebrate that. And
Thank you, Deborah. Oh my
yeah,
God,
yeah.
I love you.
Okay? So quick,
Yes,
just
girl.
quick questions. What inspires you?
My daughter. Art. It could be visual. It could be decor. It could
Right.
be music. It could be anything that exemplifies beauty and whatever I think that is.
Yes.
Um,
Yes.
Literature, a good book, good poetry. I write, I'm from the poetry world.
Right.
Poetry, um, people, people
Yeah.
inspire me. Great
Yeah.
women, great um, curators of just good living.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, traveling. I'm just a conduit of, like, I just love beauty, and I know
Yeah.
beauty comes in different forms. I can look at a beautiful tree or a plant or
Yeah.
just a piece of nature, and or the breeze could just softly sway a certain way, and I'm like, oh gosh, I feel
And
inspired to
then
write
it's
a poem. Like,
yeah.
I feel like I'm just a portal of just emotion
Mm-hmm.
and beauty and expression, and
Yeah.
I feel like I'm just affected by all that's
All
orbiting
of it.
around
A
me.
true
Yeah,
artist.
yeah, I know. It's
A true
it's a
artist.
love and a curse.
I
It's a
know,
blessing and
right?
a curse. Yeah.
What are you vegan? What is your what do you
My
like
food
to
of
eat? What
choice.
kind of, yeah, what's your food of choice?
Gosh, I love a little bit of everything. I mean, I was raised, my dad, I was raised with him. He and my mother divorced when I was very young. So we'd spend the summers with my dad, and my dad was vegan, grew everything in
Mm,
his backyard.
wow.
Um, we did not eat any kind of meat, just fish. We eat fish.
Oh,
And
wow.
my dad was on, like, some, like, black walnut hull and milk thistle way before it became popular, and turmeric.
Right.
Honey,
Turmeric,
this
yes.
was in the 80s. In the 80s, my dad was talking about
Wow.
this
Yeah,
stuff.
no
My
one was
dad,
doing that.
nobody's doing that. My
Mm-mm.
dad grew. I mean, like, he was talking about herbs and the power of milk thistle in the 1980s,
Wow.
and so we'd have sardine sandwiches, and,
Yeah.
like, he grew wheat. So my dad was very, very, very healthy.
Mm.
Not that it wasn't healthy with Miss Barbara, my mother, uh, but my mom's
But it's a
Creole, so
little different.
a little different. We was, she was making gumbo and, like, pot roast
Mm-hmm.
and crab and shrimp and all these amazing, wonderful things. So I think I have, like, a palate for a little bit of both sides. But now,
Mm-hmm.
me as an adult, um, and living in Berkeley for a long time, I went through the whole vegan stage, which I couldn't do because I do love
I couldn't
meat.
do
I
it.
don't eat pork,
Right.
but I mainly try to stay pretty healthy.
Yeah.
My daughter Dakota's like, one week, I'm vegan. I'm not eating anything other than chicken. I'm like, well, honey, that's not vegan. So, but yeah, I'm pretty healthy. I think I'm pretty
Mm-hmm.
healthy. I do my green drink in the morning. I love to
Mm-hmm.
cook. I love to experiment with different things. Growing up
Mm-hmm.
in the Bay Area, my mom would take us to Sonoma, and we'd go to, like, wine
Oh,
country and to some of the culinary schools up there. So I learned a lot, I learned a lot
Mm-hmm.
about just truffles and how to, I just
Mm.
experiment a lot. But I love
Yeah.
good food. I love
Do
fine
you, and
dining.
so you cook?
I do, girl. I cook. And so, listen,
Oh,
sometimes it's a hit and
right.
sometimes it's a miss. Dakota will say, I think this is too mature for my palate, but I get where you were going, Mom. But yeah, no, I love to cook. I love to experiment. I love fish. I love a good branzino.
Nice.
And I do love a good steak too.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah, I try to do a little bit of everything.
That's good. I think everything in
Yeah,
moderation anyway, you
everything in
know?
moderation. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. What's your go-to mantra or scripture or something that's inspirational to you? What do you think about, or what is that quote? Or, like I said, something
Yes.
that is your mantra for life?
I just posted something the other day, and it's going to sound so cliche, but I'm going to say it. The grass is greener where you water it. And
I
so,
love that.
I feel like we're
Yes.
in a world where it is so easy to get sucked into what other people are doing or what someone else
And
has gotten,
compare and all that. Yeah.
compare, and
Yeah.
it's just so easy to go there.
Yeah.
And and as a woman, as an actress, it's like, oh my gosh, well, she did this, and she got. And I remember when I was much younger,
Mm-hmm.
I would go on that hamster wheel,
Yeah.
and I had to. As you grow older, it's like you really have to just sit and rest in what is in the now, and appreciate what's here today,
Yes.
and forget about yesterday. Don't worry about tomorrow. Focus
Right.
on what's in
Be
front of you.
present.
Be present,
Yes.
and that he's shown. I think it's changed the way I look at how I work,
Mm-hmm.
how I challenge myself in acting roles, but just stop looking left to right. And
Yeah.
I mean, yes, find inspiration, but the comparison is.
Yeah.
I've stopped doing that, and I feel where you feed. Uh, where you whatever gets the most food and nutrition, whether that's spiritually,
Mm-hmm.
um, even physically, that's where the anchor is going to go. That's where the
Yeah.
strength is going to go. So that's the big one for me. I know everyone has their different
That's a great one.
struggles or demons or
Yeah.
setbacks, but for me, it's staying in my lane
Yeah.
and being patient.
And you have carved an amazing, you've trailblazed a great lane. Like I said,
Oh,
you are a part of American history, an iconic
oh
role.
my gosh.
Um,
That's,
yeah,
thank you.
it
Thank you.
absolutely. And so it was no surprise to me to hear about the Netflix gift and
Oh,
to hear about all the new things that you're doing and keeping balance through it all,
thank
which
you.
is important.
Thank you.
And I wanted to recognize that, and I wanted to
Thank
salute
you.
you and just say
Thank
keep
you.
going, girl.
Girl, you gonna make me cry up in here.
Oh.
Thank you,
No, you
Deborah. Back
must.
at you.
Oh my gosh, listen, it's awesome everything that you're doing,
Thank you.
and thanks so much for your time
Thank you for
and
having me. I'm so glad we
sharing.
got this, made it work.
Yes.
And your spirit, your energy, you're radiant. I just love you. So thank you.
Likewise.
Anytime we can do a part two.
Yeah, girl, we'll do a catch up and maybe closer to the film. We'll do
Yes,
that.
I'd love
Yeah,
that. I'd love that. That would be great.
just do a catch up and yeah. Well, Golden, it was a
Thank you,
pleasure.
Miss
Pleasure, pleasure,
COXtales. It was
pleasure.
great.
Give that
Yes,
little lady some love and some big hugs, and I'll check back
likewise.
in with you again,
Okay,
closer to a look in the mirror when it airs.
perfect. Thank you. Have a
All
lovely day.
right.
Love you, lady.
You too. Mwah.
Mwah.
Bye.
Bye.